geez, number 6 done. Wow, I tell you what, that is a big relief. So good morning and welcome to another long run video. I'm keeping my voice a bit quiet today because it's 6:30 right now and everyone around me I think is asleep. But let me tell you the plan so we can get out there because it's a bit windy and it's a little bit cold. What I want to do after this week is just building back into things, is not do a full-on long run workout, but I do want to dip my toe back into the world of marathon pacing because ultimately, as of today, we have 4 weeks left. So, plan of attack, 10 miles steady or moderate. So I'm going to do that on my usual out and back. But instead of turning around and coming back, I'm going to keep going, doing a little loop. And then at 10 miles, I'm going to alternate miles. I'm going to do sort of like a marathon pace mile and then float again back at steady pace. And I'm going to do that as many times as I can to get a relatively decent length long run. So I want to get, realistically, I'd love to get anywhere between 4 to 8 marathon pace miles done. That is a big range, but I'm giving myself a bit of leeway because, of course, how I felt in the week leading up to this. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, just go back to the previous video quickly. You'll see why it's been a funny old week. So it should take us to a pretty decent length long run, but we'll see how we go. The wind is blowing strong right now, so it's not going to be fun. Fueling, Maurten, again, I'm going to use a 160 and a 100 gel every hour, so I'm going to try and do that again. That seems to be working at the moment. And finally, Ketone IQ, I've got 2 shots in a soft flask once again, just like the last time. The other thing I've packed is a water bottle, which we're going to head out onto the industrial estate and I'm going to dump it out there. I'm not going to see it for probably the first half of the run, but I will end up passing back through the industrial estate again, probably around about 12-13 miles. So I just want something out there that I can pick up and have because I haven't been practicing with mortar as much as I should do. So we're going to leave that out there and we're going to give that one a go as well. So without further ado, let's get on with this. Right, here we go, let's embark on this adventure together. 1.5 miles in, stashed the water bottle, so we'll see that again in about 10 miles. Sadly, I've run out of pockets to stash it in, but it's good to have it out here and it's good to be practicing, especially in the second half, taking on fluids when I'm working a bit harder. So yeah, 10 miles, let's lock in. So as I said earlier, this one's going to be a good way for me to dip my toe back into marathon pacing. So earlier in the week, fell down quite hard, as in metaphorically, with illness, but then bounced back and got 70 minutes steady, moderate done, which rolls me into today. And yeah, I'm feeling like if I am going to test it, I need to be quite sensible. There were lots of workouts I had on the plan that I could have shuffled around, but they all involved long stints of marathon effort, and I just thought save that for next weekend. Obviously the ship has sailed in terms of getting into the best shape I can for London, but if I'm sensible today but get a bit of quality in, then next week could be good. And I've got a good long run workout planned as the final one for next week, a big one with some long marathon pace efforts in. So as I said, mile on, I think I said mile on, mile off. I meant to say mile on, half a mile off, and the half miles of floats. It's a generous recovery, so it should be good, and I'm just going to play it by ear. I've got it set up on the intervals on my watch, so I can just hit lap if I want to skip them. So I'm at my usual turnaround point, just there. But I'm going to go down here. I'm at 5.75 miles. So I'm just over halfway into this first section. I'm going down here. I'm going to do like a 2-mile loop, come back up here, hope to be back up here around 8.5, 9 miles, so that I can get another mile back up onto the flat-ish, and then I'm going to follow the way I came. So I am going to use the out and back. I was going to drop down a big hill for the first rep to this side of the industrial estate, but that's kind of cheating. So I'd rather put in 2 slower mile reps out here on the trails than get a really fast one downhill. I need to work for my money and see how we do. So that's the plan. Everything's feeling all right. It's about to have my first ketone IQ shot in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna have it at 45 minutes and 1 hour 30. Yeah, just a reminder, they're not sponsoring this video, but they have offered you guys 30% off. The link's in the description. I talked about it in the last long run video, so I won't waffle on about it now, but it's been so good to add to my fueling, and the more I test it, the more I realise just what a great addition it is on top of taking these gels. So yeah, if you're interested, use it, but I'll be using it in about 5 minutes. Here we go, back at the turnaround point, or was the turnaround point, and as I wanted, come back through there at 8.8 miles, so 1.2 to go until we kick into this. So half a mile to go. Quick update on this steady before we get rolling. 6.53 per mile, and working harder than yesterday, working harder a lot of times. To be fair, this wind is savage. I've got 3 or 4 athletes racing this weekend, 4, 2 today, Saturday, and 2 tomorrow, and I haven't checked the wind for tomorrow, but today it's not very pleasant, so hopefully they'll do all right, and hopefully it'll calm down for the other 2 tomorrow. But it's not nice out here. Most of this has been into a headwind, which is why I'm trying to spin and go back this way, and even now coming back this way I'm getting the old gust hit me. It's really taking it out of me, to be honest, so I'm not expecting too much now, but fuel's gone down well, ketone IQ's gone down well, so yeah, a couple more minutes, then we're going. Here we go. Let's go. Okay, first mile, 5:58. I avoided this, so my float up here will be very slow, but I'm glad I didn't do my rep up here. So yeah, first one done. Woo! 6:01. Very happy with that. Big uphill in that one. That felt good. That felt really good. Back down onto the industrial estate now. So now it's just going to be out and back, headwind, tailwind, headwind, tailwind. You know the drill. There we go, third one done, 5:59, trying to take on a bit of fuel during those harder reps. So I'll finish this gel off now on the float. Make a life for myself. Okay, fourth one done, 5:55. That was good. I've done what I set out to do, 4 by a mile. I might not get to 8, but I'm going to try 5. Water. Oh. There we go, rep 5 done, 5:56. Very happy. It's warming up though. Yeah, taking this one rep at a time. We'll give 6 a go. The wind is way worse on this way than it was on the way I've just come. Jeez, number 6 done, 5:58. The floats are now easy jogs, but overall, just clocked sub 6 on all of them bar that second one. Wow, did not expect this. Make a life for myself. There we go, rep 7 done. 5:58, and I am calling it there. So there we go. I am very happy with that. I did start to get stomach issues on that 7th one, and the wind really has just broken me down all run. And I just thought to myself, it's not worth it. The reason I got stomach issues, I think, is because I chugged a fair bit of water and I just felt sick on rep 6 and 7, like I was going to throw. So I just stopped. As I said, the wind has been savage today. I hope my 2 athletes survive the race today. It is not pleasant at all, but for me, this was a big success. Dipping the toe back in the water with realistically faster than marathon pace reps, but 7 good reps in the second half of a run when I'd already done 10 steady, out on the rolling trails, probably 500-600 foot of elevation by that point. And although my heart rate's still through the roof, and although my steady pace is still way off, that, I tell you what, that is a big relief. So I'm going to get this one done. It should be just over 22 miles, probably about 2.5 hours today. And yeah, wow, buzzing. So there we go, absolutely buzzing with that one. It's Monday morning now, so a couple of days on from that run. Feeling great, feeling fit, feeling good. I can't believe I'm saying I'm feeling fit. I don't feel fit as in where I've been in the past, but it's nice to start to feel strong again. I know I said that a couple of weeks ago. I had that blip last week with just that bizarre kind of downturn of illness on the Tuesday, but thankfully that passed as soon as it came, which is great. In terms of Garmin, which I'm trying to not pay too much attention to, but my HRV is now rocketing back up and I'm starting to feel good. So it's really good to dip my toe back in the water with those mile reps towards the end of that long run. I think it helped in terms of getting the 10 miles steady done. I did not think I could hit those sorts of paces because honestly, being honest, I didn't want to moan about it too much in the video. I know I put it in there, but the wind was so brutal and my heart rate was a little bit higher than normal. So I was running that sort of pace in the 150 heart rate as opposed to at my fittest, I guess it would have been in the 140s. So, you know, a good 10 beats a minute higher and of course slower pacing. So I really thought I'd be running sort of 610, 620s if I'm honest. So to hit those sorts of times, especially with the first two out on the trails, was very, very satisfying. Also happy with the fueling strategy. I think that's going to be what I do at London now. So I'm going to be alternating those two Maurten gels, the 160 and the 100. That's not giving me issues in terms of sickness. The Ketone IQ as well, that's definitely coming with me. Both of those you can get discounts on. Maurten stuff you can get at X Miles for 10% off if you use the discount code below. And HVMN, obviously there's the 30% off. So if you guys use that sort of fuel and you're interested in a discount, check out the links below. The water, I think, is what messed me up this time, because obviously I had some right at the start, but then I didn't get to have some probably until about 14, 15. So it's a bit later than I'd hoped for. I knew I wouldn't get it for a good chunk of time, but then of course when I did get it, I chugged it, and then that made reps 6 and 7 quite uncomfortable. But in terms of that gel sickness that I have where you kind of feel like you're just going to throw everything up, I haven't had that, so that's a good sign. That'll mean that I'm taking more fuel on than I did at Newport last year. So that's another step forward, plus the Ketone IQ. I really hope that's going to help me. I feel like I can do London now. I'm not shooting for a time, but I feel like I can get from start to finish. And with that fueling, fingers crossed, I should be able to do it in some kind of reasonable performance in terms of like not feeling too drained. I'm not, as I said, times are out the window now. But yeah, just getting from start to finish, feeling relatively good. That is the goal. So that's given me good confidence to kick on now into this week. Very, very happy. Started this week already with a nice easy run nearly 9-minute miles, which is a lot slower than I'd normally run my easy runs at. Just want to kind of now relax and enjoy. I've got some quality to throw in there for the final few weeks, or 3 weeks I should say, but everything around the outside, I just want to kind of relax on my moderate runs, relax on my easy runs, and just kind of let the body just kind of bring itself back up in its own time, feel ready, feel good, and get to the start line as healthy as I can. And I thank you all for your support. I had some wonderful comments on the recent training series video, a lot of them concerns. Completely appreciate it. Look, I put this stuff out there. I'm always very honest, and I really appreciate it when you're kind of saying, look, do you know what? You need to really assess what you're doing here. You need to be careful. Don't push. You need to relax. I take all of it on board. And I really do appreciate all of it. So thank you so much. Fingers crossed we've turned a corner. Obviously, I'll keep you guys posted. Any more slip-ups now, any more health issues leading into London, and that is it. We pull the plug. We're not risking anything. We've got a big summer and autumn to think about, and that, to be honest with you, right now is my priority. This London block is as good as done as it can be. There's nothing really more for me to gain at this point. Fully focused now on what has gone past London. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider giving it a like, share it with your friends, and of course subscribe to the channel for weekly running content. I'll see you on the next one.